All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here on the Harmless Dave channel, talking about real music and doing it in real time for a few real people out here, just like you there and just like me here. Lynyrd Skynyrd is about to release a pretty cool project from their 50th anniversary concert at the Ryman, and that sort of got me off on a bit of a tangent, just thinking about the fact that they'll release this album on the Frontiers music label. And this went out to the classic rock media that they've signed with Frontiers. Now, I definitely think Frontiers music is a cool place to go for new and even unreleased stuff that maybe you didn't hear the first time. In this case, this is a pretty important concert live at the Ryman. It is the final performance of Gary Rosington. So there will be a lot of interest in this project. But what I like here is that Frontiers is starting to kind of diversify their portfolio here. Tom Lipsky, who's the head of A&R of North America. It's amazing that they actually have an A&R department for North America at Frontiers. Said Gary Rosington touched the world with his songwriting and inspired us for decades. It is an honor to bring the words and music of Lynyrd Skynyrd to the fans via Gary's final performance, surrounded by his Lynyrd Skynyrd family, as together they delivered an unforgettable concert experience at the Ryman. That's cool. That's extremely cool, and I'm looking forward to hearing and seeing that. But what triggered me a little bit more, and I haven't done a pro Frontiers video in quite some time, but I think just to kind of give the fans some perspective here, fans of music, not fans of me, there are several releases that you probably should check out. And this label continues to be like an outpost for this stuff. First on the list, and I'll go through a few of them. I don't know how many I'm going to do, but some of them I don't really care that much about. I might mention them because you might be interested in them. The first one, though, is a band called the Speaker Wars, featuring Stan Lynch from Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers playing drums. Now, this band sounds a little bit like Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. And they've come out with a couple of singles, and the music is really good. The album comes out on May the 30th, and you really need to check out the songs that have been released thus far. Frontiers music, folks. Don Felder is coming out with an album called The Vault, 50 Years of Music, courtesy again of Frontiers. Now, I believe one single has been released. I think it's called Free at Last. Very interesting song lyrically. He's got a lot of special guest type great musicians on this. Joe Williams, David Paich, Greg Fillinganes, Lenny Castro, Nathan East, yeah, and Steve Lukather. So, and that's just to name a few. I wish he wouldn't auto-tune his vocals, because it kind of seems like that's what he's doing. There appears to be a redo of heavy metal on here, which I can guarantee you I'm not going to like. But if you're a fan of Don Felder, you need to check out The Vault. The band Giant, all right, featuring my buddy Kent Hilly on lead vocals. This is a brand that died, unfortunately, when the music industry stomped on them in the early 1990s, featuring David Huff on drums, Mike Brignardello on bass, and Jimmy Westerland on lead guitar. and the aforementioned Kent Hilly on lead vocals. The album is called Stand and Deliver, and it sounds like classic rock to me. Um, Great band, great legacy, and again, courtesy of Frontiers Music, keeping the dream alive if you're a Giant fan. Other notable releases: Art Nation, Harem Scarum, which apparently they have quite a following. This band, really cool band called Alliance, which, if you haven't heard Alliance, you should really check them out. Featuring Gary Peel, I'm sorry, Gary Peel. I always mess that up. David Lauser and Robert Berry. I always want to put the H where the I is. It's Gary Peel, and he's pretty amazing. He's also worked in Boston, the band, and then you've got Robert Berry, who is in GTR and the band 3, and David Lauser, who's worked with Sammy Hagar. So, yeah, I mean, this is quite a lineup. The band is called Alliance, and I think they have 2 tracks out there, Tell Somebody and Nothing Can Make You Change. You can either use Google or, I don't know, just go to one of your favorite streaming sites and you'll find Alliance, hopefully. But there's more, all right? Now that's like a what do they call that? A super group right there, Alliance. Then you've got the band Wet with my buddy Jeff Scott Soto. You've got John Anderson and the Band Geeks, which I believe came out a few days ago. And this is a live album, and these are stunningly accurate versions of classic Yes songs. And all I can say about John Anderson is he is a freak of nature. He just turned 80 years old, and I don't know. I don't think his voice is that much different from the way back days. I think he sounds amazing for his age. And it's beyond just seeing a living legend. If you can see John Anderson and the Band Geeks, they are hitting on all cylinders and they sound amazing. Again, this music courtesy of Frontiers. Now, I know a lot of you just stream music and that's how you consume music and you don't buy anything anymore. I get it. But you've also got albums by Streetlight and Perfect Plan that have been released. Those are newer bands. I know a lot of people don't want to think about new stuff that they haven't heard of before. But those two are very good as far as the quality of music, and you should check them out, Streetlight and Perfect Plan. The Streetlight album is called Night Vision, and the Perfect Plan album is called Heart of a Lion. And again, that should be enough music to last you a little while. Those are a few suggestions, but all courtesy of a record label that the American media, the American radio industry, radio talk show hosts have all more or less ignored when that kind of stuff could have helped keep this whole thing going. But instead, we pretend there's nothing going on out there. And if you go back through the Frontiers catalog over the years, you're just going to find gem after gem, like albums that should have been huge that went absolutely nowhere. I mean, there's a ton of them in my CD collection, and I just look at them and I go, it's like it just was released. There were a couple of promo videos that went out there, and then they just went into the memory hole and everybody forgot about it. So another reason, by the way, that if you like something, you should buy the CD, right? I mean, you could still look it up and find it if you remember what it was. But if you actually have the CD, you can go, okay, I can go listen to this online because I have like a bookmark. The CD ends up being a bookmark for that release when it came out. That's, I guess, a logical way to maybe approach it now. So anyway, folks, that's my video. If you want to concentrate on new material, I gave you some good ideas. If you want to learn more, go over to frontiers.it. They're an Italian record label, and don't hold it against them, though. Not all Italians are bad people. All right. Don't look at me and go, "Hey, you're Italian, right?" I go, "Yeah, kind of, a little bit." I'm not authentic though. I'm just, it's my nationality. I'm not speaking Italian or eating Italian food every day. But I'm supposed to hang out at some point with Dean Castronovo, and we're supposed to go out, and maybe with Johnny Gioeli too. And we should all go out somewhere and have a nice meal. So maybe that'll be in my future. Maybe they'll see this and go, you know what? We feel sorry for Dave. We're gonna not only are we gonna buy him a coffee, but we're gonna buy him some pasta fagioli, right? Something good, something good off the menu. Yeah. Anyway, knowing my situation, I'll probably be buying for them in order to just hang out with them. But I don't know what I'm talking about at this point, other than Italian food and meeting rock stars that probably won't show up. So there you go. That's my video. God bless everyone. Have a great day, and I will talk to you soon.